Brothers and sisters.
Sisters and brothers. How are we today?
I hope fun.
I hope great, fine.
I hope you're moving to the next
Finessing,
level.
insecure, neurotic, eccentric. What we want to talk about today, though, is the great paradigm shift. Now, let her explain it, baby. What does it mean? What is a paradigm shift?
A paradigm shift, you see, is when you have a shift in global consciousness within your direct people that you see or talk to. It's within your tight-knit group of people. A paradigm shift, it couldn't exist if it wasn't that. And
I see what you're saying.
I'll explain it later, but it's where there's a change in perception.
Now, let me hold on. Perspective, right? But I taught you something earlier, and I've been shown
people
things
that you come into close contact with.
But I've been shown something about perspective. Perspective is time. Time equals perspective, meaning that time can actually go faster or slower, but really time is nothing more, nothing less than perception. Now, why do I say this? Because we have a collective consciousness in which we perceive time, okay? So if it's okay, let me explain how time can all of a sudden start moving faster or slower. I'm better yet, slower. You get into a car accident, what happens? If you've been into a car accident, you know what happens. Everything starts to go into slow motion. So what happens? Your perception, which is time, slows down the whole process of it because I don't know why, which I think is very interesting. But yeah, I think that's a good way of explaining it. But so right now we're going through a paradigm.
It's like, for instance, you imagine a light just staying still, it brings calmness, right?
Yeah.
But if that light were to go really fast, like flickering fast, then all of a sudden you have anxiety, your heart starts saying something's wrong,
I see what you're saying, but
and it's just a light and the speed of the light that does it.
That can actually make things look even faster. But it's perception, and that's what I'm trying to say. So
flight or flight.
Fight. Well,
or fight.
But listen to this. We have figured something out. Or I have figured something out. Go ahead, explain it.
Alright. We're starting off with a basic concept that if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, did it really fall?
Now, hold on. I want to know in the comments, okay? Let's go over this again. If a branch falls off a tree in the woods, nobody's there to see it, right?
No one is there to see it yet.
If time is I keep saying perspective. Perspective. If time is perspective.
Perception.
Excuse me. Thank you. Perception. Well, you have to think about this. Did it really fall? The answer is no. How could it have fallen? We wouldn't have known. Nobody was there to witness it. So she came up with something actually prior to this podcast that I think is fucking brilliant. And she said, well, what if there was... Explain it.
Imagine a person falls and there's no one there to see it.
Well, that's not what you said.
Or hear it.
You said...
And it's not really fall, but if a person exists...
Okay,
and no one is there to see or hear that person, did that person ever really exist?
And not only that, and this is where it gets very interesting, and this is going to make you understand things a little better, that I've actually been wanting to throw down and on these videos. So when you get a birth certificate, you are now part of America Incorporated. You get those numbers. You are technically a number. So understand that. So if this individual that we're talking about didn't have a number, a birth certificate, and nobody knows they exist, would that make them obviously a real person? Yes, if they were real. But how would we know? Because perception has not proven that this individual is real, because nobody has perceived them. Meaning there's a collective consciousness. So for example, the dollar is worth this much right now today. If everybody said tomorrow the dollar is worth nothing, as a collective consciousness, that's what would happen. The dollar wouldn't be worth shit, but because we believe in, as a collective consciousness, the dollar means something, it will remain meaning something, even though it is not backed up by gold.
He just confused me. I was focusing on that, and I got a little bit lost and
I'm
lost track
freestyling, baby. I'm freestyling.
What I was previously thinking, which now
You can't remember?
just remember to comment on our podcast, but what I can't even remember what I was.
Okay, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a train, and the train goes like this, woof, but it goes faster the next time, woof, and it goes faster and faster and faster and faster, and so fast that the train goes invisible.
I remember.
And okay, go ahead.
All right, so people give meaning to other people.
That's right.
So that means if you don't have anyone in your life, you have no meaning. Do you exist is the question. Do you exist if you have no one in your life and no one there to see you and
kind of what
like,
yeah, you just broke that down better. You
no,
know what?
I don't think you exist.
I want to know down in the
your
comments,
life.
how do you feel, like, what do you think about, okay, this individual with no birth certificate, nobody knows he existed, but somebody has to know he existed, and that's where I just solved the problem.
He says that, but how does that even come into
but
play?
the parents would know, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
of course somebody had to fucking, excuse my language, somebody had to foster this kid.
Well,
so where does that come in? But then
think about it for yourself.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I mean, imagine if they just fell off the face of the earth and, they died, but they didn't die. So would this person really exist? So you have to understand, time is not, okay, time does not go like this. A lot of people think that time goes like this. Time is a man-made construct. And the reason why time does not go like this is because time is perception. So if time is perception, it goes like this, a spiral. Do you understand what I'm saying? If time was linear and it was just perception like that, there would be no room, okay? Time equals perception. There would be no room for judgment. There would be no room for judgment on this person or on any of these people. And guess what? Judgment is coming based upon the Bible. And I'm not going to get too into the Bible right now, but I have found out recently that there are chosen ones, and I am one of the chosen ones, I will admit, and we have been given a very great power to judge people on earth. In the sense, yes, we get to judge your souls. And it's not just me. It is not just me. It's actually a few chosen people that have been given this gift. To be honest with you, I believe that we are fallen angels, the ones that have been given this gift. And right now, God is having his reconciliation with the devil, because you can't have one without the other. However, think about this, and I think this is interesting. Hear me out. And this is perception. So, if God made everybody in his image, including Lucifer, Lucifer would be God's favorite angel. I think God's a her. So if God made Lucifer, okay, and he did his own thing and went against the woman, they got a lot of making up to do. Honestly, think about this. And until until they make up, each generation is going to be, we will be living in filth, and it's just like it says in the Bible, dude, until the chain is broken. So, yes, that is all perception. So, here it comes, the self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, the Bible, I believe, is correct, because I believe the Bible has not just happened on earth. I believe the Bible has happened on many parallel universes, so they already know what time it is. They already know what's probably going to happen. And we can reverse this. There is a way to reverse this, but point being is, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because we all have the collective, not all of us, but I